All right, here we go. Fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media. My name is Judson Powell. All right, so yesterday we talked about like what's next. And I want to continue on that theme of what's next, especially for black folks. The thing is that right now we are in an unprecedented time in history. So although 2021, people may have characterized it as bad or the Trump presidency as bad, but also, in order for you to experience light, you must understand darkness. If you don't understand darkness, then you can't appreciate the light. And so right now, everything is starting to be illuminated. And that's one reason why I keep telling everybody to meditate, to pray, and to listen to the ancestors. Make altars to the ancestors and listen to the ancestors, because right now, their time to shine, but they're going to shine. They're going to shine through you. So if you don't manifest them and manifest them in your lives and through your lives, then it's going to be very difficult for you to do well and prosper in this unprecedented time. A lot of people, of course, I know a lot of y'all still caught up in the slave master deals, still caught up in religion, and it doesn't matter your religion. All religion is bad if it's taken out of context, or if it's taken to the point where it keeps you from functioning on a, I won't even on a prudent intellectual level, put it that way, because you're thinking, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that because of this religious thing, and that's not true at all. All right, the Most High is calling on you to use your skill sets, all the skill sets that you have, all of the connections and all of those things that you have. The Most High is counting on you to use those things in order for you to be able to manifest the things that you want. And so that's why I'm kind of telling y'all. So now the thing about it is that even, so I say the Trump presidency. Okay, let me use that as an example. And one of my oldest friends and dearest friends, he's gone on to be with the Most High. But here's the thing, and we used to get into arguments about this, and it's funny that those arguments now have manifested, because I couldn't stand Trump, and it didn't want nothing to do with him. But he was always telling me, he was like, look, out of this negativity, and this was like early on in Trump's presidency, he said, out of this negativity is going to come something positive. And so I never really listened to him, and I listened to him, but I didn't really take heed to what he was saying. But what this has done is it's exposed truth. The Trump presidency has exposed truth about the United States of America. It has exposed truth about the way Africans are treated in this society and all over the world. But without Trump's presidency, a lot of people would have still been asleep. So the Trump presidency woke up a lot of people, and now, like I said, even with the, no matter what the origin or what the motivation was behind Black Lives Matter at this point in history, it has been a good thing for everybody that's black or everybody that's African, because it took away the white nationalists and the white supremacists. Them storming the Capitol should teach you everything you know about moral, since it's Martin Luther King's birthday, say everything you need to know about moral authority. See, once you lose your moral authority, which is what Dr. King talked about all the time, it was like, once you lose your moral authority, once you have no more morals and no more things that you subscribe to or that you live by, or they are brought to a point where, I guess let me say it this way: if something can take you out of your game so easily, And all of these Trump supporters, they're very easily swayed and moved and taken out of what they do because it's not moral. So everything that they say, or everything that they say, all the rhetoric that's being spread, they they can't really say anything because of the manner of their actions. So you want the country to be for your people, but you don't want the country to be for anybody else. And I guess that's what needs to be broken down. And because of that lack of moral authority, see, black people ain't never tried to hurt anybody, harm anybody. You ain't never seen black people storm the Capitol. You ain't never seen black people do none of that stuff that they've been doing. You've never seen people, just like, and the other thing is it diminishes the effect of white supremacy. See, white supremacy is ineffective now. Why? Because you can't stand on the back of you storming the Capitol and say that you have some type of supremacy, or you say some of the ridiculous things without information, without knowledge, and some of the things that these people say. I mean, they got channels with people interviewing Trump supporters that don't have a clue about the history of the country, nor about how the country is run, nor about how the government is run. And it kind of started with the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, but the Colin Kaepernick thing started to expose it. So when Cap did what he did and he kneeled, and then we still got a negative racist song as the national anthem of the United States of America. It's a racist song. It was written on the heels of white nationalism and white racism. So keep that in mind, but also keep your moral authority as you move forward. But what you got to start doing is you got to start formulating which is what we see. I mean, if you are paying attention to, what's going on in the country right now, social media, all of those things, the regular media and all of that, just be aware and be cognizant of the fact that right now is a great time to start your business, to start building up, generational wealth. If you had no generational wealth, start building it. And the other thing is look at the things that the people that you don't consider, because they've always tried to push immorality on us through the media. So we need to work on things like black on black crime, the over sexualization of black women or Latino women, the whole Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B stuff, all of that stuff is exploitation. Really, except for, and they give these people a lot of money. And the reason why they give them a lot of money is so that we'll look up to them and we'll admire them. And that's not the way we should be going. We need to be making legitimate money through legitimate reasons. Just like Cardi B has done things, and I'm not trying to be on Cardi B. I respect what she's doing. I respect her game. I respect her hustle. But here's the thing: you have, our daughters imitating this behavior, and busted, and all this twerking and everything else. That's never been us. That's not us. That's what people have created around us in order to take away in order to take away our moral authority. It's hard to say anything. It's very difficult to say anything about anything when you don't have that authority, and that's what everything is coming down to. So they realize that. So the people that they push out in front of us are not the people that we should be looking up to or paying attention to. And remember, first and foremost, the people that teach or preach about Kemetic spirituality, we're priests. we're first and foremost, we're priests. We have to tell you the sanctions of Mayat. I'm sorry. So I'm still recovering from the illness that I had. So sometimes I may go in and out. I had a couple of mini strokes too. So, but remember, Mayat. We have to, and that's why we have to subscribe to Mayat. People walking around talking about angels or this, that, and the other thing, but that whole thing comes from Mayat, comes from our ancestors, and it's still here. It hasn't gone anywhere. It hasn't changed. And once again, the laws and the commandments and the Quran and in the Bible, they all came from Mayat. That's where they came for. That's what they came from. So think about it. The things and the negative confessions, the 42 negative confessions. If you live by those 42 negative confessions, you'll never be broke. You'll never be in trouble. You'll never have anything except for prosperity, and you'll be able to look up and say that you're a good person and that you lived a good life. And you'll set a good example for your children and their children. And that's the most important. That's the most important thing. It really is, because you're not gonna find this stuff at the bottom, of a bottle, or taking your clothes off, or whatever you decide to do in order to make money. It always ends up in a negative position if it's against Mayat. So please be cognizant of that. But once again, all of this has been exposed. You know right from wrong, and Trump has exposed right from wrong, and unfortunately, a lot of it comes along racial lines. You see that things have come across racial lines, and why is that? I mean, why is it? You can't. And the other thing is, just like we always say, as a man thinketh or as a woman thinketh, so are they. Look at all the things that are going on, that are morally dysfunctional, and all of the things that are morally dysfunctional is because they have put that in front of you, so that's what you would feed off of spiritually, and also educationally, and you start living your life like that. And it's all because we look up to money. Money is their God. Regardless of what you want to say, go look at it. Money is their God. So they dangle money in front of you. But what good is it to gain the world and lose your soul? I mean, ask yourself that. And Amenemop, those are the proverbs of Amenemop, not whoever they said it was in the Bible. Amenemop wrote that stuff. A Kemetic priest, an Egyptian, a black man. All right. In fact, I'll post his picture on my Instagram later on. So I just want you to know that just like I said, once again, we can go back to Dr. King. You got to keep your moral authority. Don't lose it. We wasn't up there. When you start losing your moral authority, that's because what? Because you didn't have a foundation. You weren't planted like that tree by the side of the water. You weren't planted that way. You weren't built up that way. And at this point, we were able to basically navigate ourselves through this because we've been under attack for so long. So the judgment is coming. Judgment is here. And the thing about it is that if we work, very, very diligently in order to keep power, then we'll be okay. And then you never thought in your entire life that you would see some of these states that vote Democrat. but it's all because of the lack of moral authority among the party of Trump. Anyway, that's all I have. That's 15 minutes is up. My name is Judson Powell. I love you all. And get busy. Start a business. Start a business right now. It ain't got to be big. Just start it small. And eventually, it'll grow up. I love you.